알겠습니다. 영어로 진행을 할게요. Hi, I'm Songbin Kim from AMI Lab, and the work that I'm going to present today is one LLM, one framework to align all modalities with language, which will be presented at CPR 2024. So the recent progress in large language models has inspired researchers to employ this LLM as an intermediate interface for multimodal tasks. And among these tasks, vision language models are the most active research field. So maybe starting with this Flamingo in 2022, there comes this Lava, which was presented at NeurIPS 2023, and there are like a lot more large language models recently. So basically, most of these vision language models are designed like this, as in this figure. So there's this image encoder, which extracts image features from image. And there's this connector, which is also known as projection layer, which translates this input features, image features into the tokens that LLM can understand. And finally, there's LLM, which takes this text tokens and also image tokens and generate response text. So most of vision language models are designed like this. So building on top of these vision language models, more recently, researchers are attempting to integrate multiple modalities into multimodal large language models, which is known as MLLMs. And these multimodal large language models are designed similar to that of VLMs, as shown in this figure. So basically, they also have this encoder and projection layer for each modality. So first of all, these most of these MLLMs use pre-trained encoders for each modality. So for example, they use image encoder for, they use ClipVIT for image encoder. And also they design this projection layers by using MLP or QFOMR. So MLP is just multi-layer perceptron, and QFOMR is designed as shown here. So yeah, this is also a vision language model here, which has this image encoder, LLM, and also there's QFOMR, which is projection layer. And how this QFOMR works is that the learned queries are fed into the QFOMR, and also there's image features fed into the QFOMR for cross attention. So in QFOMR, the learned queries are, they apply self-attention between learned queries, and also they apply this cross-attention between image features and learned queries, and finally output these learned queries, and these learned queries are fed into the LLM to generate responses. So most of the previous work on MLLMs designed a encoder and a projection layer for each modality. However, there are several challenges in existing MLLMs. So first of all, modality-specific encoders are usually differ in architecture, which means that considerable efforts are required to unify them all into a single framework. And furthermore, pre-trained encoders that deliver reliable pre-trained performance are usually restricted to widely used modalities such as image, audio, and video. So yeah, as many of us will know, there are several reliable models for image, audio, and video, but extending to other modalities, we're not sure that whether there's like a reliable model to use for extending modality in MLLMs. So in this paper, they throw this question: how to build a unified and scalable encoder that can handle diverse modalities. So in this work, they propose one LLM, which aligns 8 modalities using one unified framework. So as shown in this figure, instead of designing encoder and projection layer for per modality, they designed this universal encoder which can take diverse, which takes 8 modalities as an input, and they have this unified projection layer instead of like a projection layer for each modality, and they also have this one LLM. So basically what they do is they unified all the models to take any modality, which results in like computationally efficient and also efficient while designing while unifying the old models. So these were the introduction for this paper. So before moving on to the details, I'll stop for 5 seconds to take any questions about the high-level idea of this paper. So if there's not, let's move on to the architecture detail. So the architecture is designed like this. So first of all, there are some lightweight modality tokenizers here, but as I mentioned, it's really lightweight, just a single convolutional layer. So basically, this model has a tokenizer for each modality, and here's a universal encoder which can take any modality. And here's universal projection module, which can translate the extracted features into the tokens that LLM can understand. And finally, there's LLM here. So all the feature extraction module and the projection module is unified to handle all modalities. So let's look at each of these models. So first one is lightweight modality tokenizers, which are designed to transform the input signal into a sequence of tokens. So as I mentioned, all of these models are designed with a single convolutional layers. And to use the single convolutional layers, all modalities are converted into a 1D or 2D signal. So these are just a model that tokenizes the input signal. And then there's this universal encoder, which extracts features from the input signal. So for this universal encoder, they use ClipVIT, which was pre-trained on vision language tasks. So it's quite interesting that they used a model that is only trained on vision language tasks. And it's interesting that this model can be extended to handle modalities different from image. But in these two papers, they already had shown that a model that is trained on one modality can be extended to other modalities. So this paper just referenced these two works to design a universal encoder which is only trained on vision language task. And these blue tokens are the features that is extracted from the input signal. And then there's universal projection module, which projects any modality into LLM's embedding space. So yeah, and as you can see, with this, they concatenate this modality token with the output tokens from the input signal, and they feed these concatenated tokens into the universal projection module, and they finally extract these tokens to be fed into the large language model. So let's call this universal projection module as UPM. So more specifically, these tokens are denoted as QM. QM is modality tokens, and XM is the input features. And these concatenated QM and XM are fed into UPM to output this Q bar M and X bar M. And inside this UPM model, there's like 3 projection experts, and also there's modality router here. So how they work is like this. So the concatenated QM and XM are fed into this PK, which is a projection expert here. So here it's P1, P2, and P3. And these concatenated features are fed into large PK, and they are weighted sum by this WM. So this WM comes from a modality router here, large RM. So these QM and XM, these concatenated features are fed into RM to inference some weights, which are summed into 1. So basically these features are fed into the modality router to decide how large weight this universal projection module will assign to each projection expert. And they weighted sum these outputs from the projection experts based on this WM, and they output the rated, they output the features that are rated some by these projection experts. And actually, these module is called soft mixtures of experts, which is presented at this paper, from sparse to soft mixtures of experts. And this paper will be presented in ICLR 2024. So if you're interested, I think it's worth to check this paper. So finally, they have this large language model, which is designed with Llama 2. And for the input, they discard this X bar M, and they only use this Q bar M as an input for large language model. And also they feed this query text prompt with this Q bar M, and they can generate response to the input signal. So this is how they design the architecture. So for the training strategy, they use these two large steps. So in the first stage, they have this progressive multimodal alignment where they train the model to be aligned to multimodal signal. And for this stage, they use multimodal and text paired data set. So all the data are paired with one modality and text. And after this stage, they have this unified multimodal instruction tuning stage, which trains the model to be able to answer to any kind of open-ended questions. So for this training, they use instruction data set, which they will actually they collect this instruction data set to train this stage. So let's look at stage one by one. So the first stage is progressive multimodal alignment, and there's like several steps inside this stage. So first step is training image and text alignment. So basically, they train this model with only image and text data set, and as you can see, all other modules inside this universal projection module is gone, and there's only this projection expert here. So what they do is they train this projection expert to learn to align image and text. So this universal encoder was ClipVIT, and large language model was Llama 2, and these two are fixed, and they only train this projection expert to align image and text. And after training this, and also image and text pair data set is used for this step. And after training this step, they finally train a multimodal and text alignment step. So for these projection experts, they initialize these projection experts with the one that was trained on image and text alignment. So what I mean by that is that these three projection experts are initialized with this model, which was trained on image and text alignment. And after initializing these three models, they train these whole part using 8 different modalities. So, well, they mix some data from image and text, and they extend to audio and point cloud and along like 8 different modalities. So they only train these part to learn the multimodal and text alignment. So this was progressive multimodal alignment stage. And after this stage, this one LLM becomes a multimodal captioning model. So as I mentioned, all the data set is constructed with multimodal and text pairs. So this model becomes multimodal captioning model. So, and then finally, they have this unified multimodal instruction tuning stage, which is trained to answer to any kind of open-ended questions. So for this tuning, they collected 2 million instruction tuning data set, which GPT-4 was involved to make those instructions. And they fully fine-tune the LLM here and keep rest of the part frozen. So these are the end of how they design the model and how they train the model. So before moving on to experiments, do you have any questions? If yes, feel free to ask, and if not, I can move on to experiment section. 네네.
토크나이저 관련해서 질문이 있는데,
네네.
텍스트 토크나이저는 딱 토크나이저별로 해당하는 보캐뷸러리의 토크나이저가 정해져 있잖아요.
네네.
근데 이미지는 좀 다르다고 생각이 들어서 지금
네.
토크나이저가 어떤 식으로 되는지, 뭐 클래시피케이션으로 비슷한 토크나이저로 매칭이 되는 건지 다른 방법이 있는 건지 궁금합니다.
그 토크나이저 관련해서는 서플멘터리에 정말 잠깐 있었는데 그러니까 텍스트 토크나이저 같은 경우는 요 부분에서만 이제 그 말씀하신 대로 들어가는데 요 앞에 비전이나 다른 모달리티는 정말 그냥 싱글 레이어로만 되어 있고 학습 때 같이 학습을 하는 것 같아요. 그러니까 진짜 정말 싱글 레이어로만 되어 있어서 거기서 그냥 그런 그 텍스트의 어떤 그런 특성들처럼 뭔가를 반영하기보다는 그냥 싱글 레이어로만 딱 구성이 되어 있었습니다. 2D 컨볼루션 레이어로.
그러면 클래시피케이션이랑 비슷하게 생각하면 될까요?
클래시피케이션이요?
보캐뷸러리 중에서 그 이미지 패치랑 가장 큰 것을 매칭한다고 생각하면 되나요?
혹시 다시 한번 설명해 주실 수 있나요?
이미지 패치가 인풋을 들어오면 그
네.
맞는 토큰을 불러야 되는데
네네네.
그거를 이제 클래시피케이션 같이 생각을 하면 되는 건지.
네네네. 그렇게 생각하시면 될 것 같아요.
감사합니다.
네.
저도 질문 하나 있는데 혹시 들리시나요?
네네.
그 프로젝션 엑스퍼트 학습할 때
네.
처음에 이제 이미지랑 텍스트 페어 데이터셋만 가지고 학습을 했다고 말씀해 주셨잖아요.
네네.
근데 그 다른 모달리티로 왜 페어로 학습 안 하고 굳이 이미지랑 텍스트로 학습했는지 언급이 있는 건가요? 아니면 이유가 있나요?
사실 그 이미지 텍스트 데이터가 가장 어번던트 하기 때문에 그렇게 했다라는 정도가 있고, 그리고 이제 실험적으로 이 이미지, 그러니까 다른 모달리티로 학습을 하고 거기 학습된 모델로 이니셜라이즈 하는 그 실험은 보여주진 않았는데 그냥 랜덤리 이니셜라이즈 했는 것보다 이미지 텍스트로 학습을 하고 이니셜라이즈 하는 게 좋았다고 얘기가 네, 그 정도만 있었습니다. 근데 이제 그 이유가 일단은 이미지랑 텍스트 데이터가 가장 많은 그 데이터여서 그래서 이제 그쵸, 데이터가 가장 많기 때문에 그렇게 했다고 네, 되어 있습니다.
감사합니다.
네.
저 혹시 두 가지 질문이 있는데요.
네네.
그럼 여기 사진에서 보면 이제 프로젝션 엑스퍼트이 여러 개가 있는데
네네.
이 여러 개로 둔 이유가 있을까요? 왜냐하면 그 방금 전에 말씀해 주시기로는 이 모든 토큰들이 항상 모든 엑스퍼트를 다 지나는 것 같더라고요. 근데
네네,
메모리
맞습니다.
같은 경우에는 뭐 예를 들어 10개 토큰이 있으면 첫 번째 5개는 1번, 나머지 뭐 1개는 2번 이렇게 짝으로 할당이 되는데 이거 같은 경우에는 모든 토큰이 모든 엑스퍼트에 다 할당이 되는 것 같아서 여러
네네.
개의 엑스퍼트를 두는 이유가 논문에 있었는지에 대해 궁금하고 두
네네.
번째로는 저기 제일 오른쪽에 라지 랭귀지 모델에 약간 불 심벌이 있는데 저 부분에 약간 어느 부분이 트레이너블 파라미터로 트레이닝 되는 것인지 궁금합니다.
일단은 두 번째 그 질문부터 답변을 드리면은, 그러니까 말씀드린 대로 일단은 프로그레스 멀티모달 얼라이먼트에서는 요 라지 랭귀지 모델이 요 프리즈 상태인데 이제 요 스텝에서 이제 그 Unified Multimodal Instruction 튜닝에서 이제 불 표시가 되고 이때는 fully fine tune을 했다고 합니다. 전체를 다 파인 튠했고 실험적으로 그러니까 요즘에 뭐 로라나 이런 그 일부만 그 파인 튜닝 하던가 하는 메소드들이 있는데 그냥 실험적으로 했을 때 fully fine tuning 했을 때 성능이 더 좋았다라고 이제 이야기를 합니다. 그리고 요건 조금 더 스코프가 다른 얘기일 수도 있는데 이게 그 저도 이전에 LLM을 파인 튜닝 라마를 파인 튜닝 해본 적이 있었는데 어쨌든 제가 원하는 타겟 태스크에는 확실히 그 로라나 이런 것보다 풀 파인 튜닝 하는 게 제가 원하는 태스크에서는 확실히 성능이 잘 나오더라고요. 그래서 얘네들도 어쨌든 비슷하게 그렇게 풀리 파인 튜닝을 한 것 같고 그 다음 이제 첫 번째 질문이 프로젝션 엑스퍼트를 왜 3개 썼느냐라고 이제 여쭤봐 주셨는데 사실은 그러니까 그거에 대한 분석은 없었고 이 논문에서 그러니까 믹스 오브 엑스퍼트가 아까 말씀하신 대로 할당된 그 엑스퍼트로만 지나가는데 이제 이 논문에서 그거에 대한 얘기가 좀 나오는 것 같았어요. 정확하게 기억이 안 나는데 그래서 이제 여기서 나왔던 게 이제 그 인풋들을 엑스퍼트에 쭉 넣되 그 모달리티 라우터를 통해서 그러니까 얘네들 디스크리트하게 얘만 쓰고 나머지는 안 쓰고 이렇게 하지 말고 그 웨이트 그 소프트 웨이트를 적용을 해줘서 전체를 웨이트 썸 하는 게 더 낫다라는 그런 분석이 있어서 그걸 그냥 기반으로 이 논문에서는 네, 얘네들 레퍼런스에서 갖고 와서 썼고 그리고 이제 그것도 뒤에 어블레이션에서 실험적으로 그런 이런 소프트 라우터를 썼을 때 더 성능이 좋다라는 얘기 정도가 있었습니다.
네, 감사합니다. 그럼 제가 잘 이해했는지 한 번만 더 여쭤본다면, 뭐, 프로젝션 엑스퍼트가 이제 각각의 다르게 이제 이니셜라이즈 되고, 트레이닝 될 때도 뭔가 이 한 엑스퍼트만 있는 게 아니라 트레이닝 될 때도 3개가 여전히 있는 거고요. 그리고
네네
인프런스 할
맞습니다.
때도 약간 그러면 멀티플 레이어가 그냥 있다라고 보면 되는 걸까요?
네 맞습니다. 얘네가 각각 3개 다른 애들입니다.
네, 감사합니다.
네. Okay, so let's move on to the experiment section. And actually, this is 25 tasks. I think I have a typo here. So basically, they have like 25 tasks for evaluating this model. And as I mentioned here, there's like image text, video text, and like all different kinds of modality and text related tasks. And basically, I'm not going to go into detail about these experiments because all the message they're saying is like the same along the tasks. So I only brought this one task or one modality, which they evaluated on video and text related benchmark. They evaluated on 4 different benchmarks here. So the first message they show is that their model shows better performance compared to other M-LLMs. So basically, these 4 models are 4 different M-LLMs, and they show that their model is basically outperforms others in 4 different tasks. This was like one message they told along the whole benchmark. And the second message they say is that even their model is trained, they evaluated with zero-shot setting. They say they show comparable performance between against these expert models. So these upper layer models are trained on each benchmark, which means they're not zero-shot models. They're expert models. And this paper says that one LLM can not outperform those, but shows like comparable results against these expert models. And for ablation study, they firstly showed that joint training was better than separate training. So what I mean by joint training is that joint training is what they did in this paper, and separate training is like training the model just on only like one modality and text. For example, like image and text, or audio and text, or video and text. So as you can see here, joint training shows overall great performance than separate training. So on the image and text benchmark, the results are quite similar, but when we move to audio and video, which are in data scarce modalities, they show like significant performance improvement when jointly trained the model. And secondly, they show that image alignment benefits multimodal alignment. So as I mentioned in the previous slide and also answered through the questions, these projection experts were initialized with image text aligned models. Initialized with that and fine-tuned with the all different modalities. So they compared with image initialization or random initialization, and they show overall improved performance on image initialization. And finally, they say that 3 experts perform good enough. So increasing the number of experts to 5 and 7 do not bring further improvement, while 1 expert was also not that satisfactory. So they said that like 3 were good enough. So here are some qualitative results where they use like fMRI, IMU, or normal map input signal, which were not usually shown in the other literature. And you can see that this model quite responds accurately to the input questions. For example, like what scene does this fMRI data record? And this model answers quite accurately about like bus driving down the road. And here like, so in the normal map case here, what's in the room? And the model says a large teddy bear and a chair and a table. And yeah, it quite works well on these modalities which were not usually used in the other literature. So in conclusion, this work proposes 1 LLM that aligns 8 modalities with unified framework. And they show that progressive alignment pipeline helps stable training. So what I mean by progressive alignment includes that image initialization and also, image initialization was helpful for stable training. And also they construct this large-scale multimodal instruction data set for instruction tuning, and this data set cover 8 different modalities which were not usually used in the other literature. And finally, they evaluate on 25 diverse benchmarks showing great performance against other MLMs and also comparable performance on the expert models.